12 of the nation's deadliest mass shootings have happened so far under President Trump's administrative watch.
You'll see everything. You'll see the big board.
We will be looking today to see if he uses the words domestic terrorism to address these shootings, particularly the one in El Paso, and white nationalists. We'll see if he calls them out.
We are rapidly approaching a moment of truth, both for ourselves as human beings and for the life of our nation. Now, truth is not always a pleasant thing.
And here comes the president and the vice president now.
Good morning. My fellow Americans, this morning, our nation is overcome with shock, horror, and sorrow.
I am as sorry as you are, Dimitri. Don't say that you're more sorry than I am, because I'm capable of being just as sorry as you are. So we're both sorry, all right?
This weekend, more than 80 people were killed or wounded in two evil attacks. One Saturday morning in El Paso, Texas, a wicked man.
And the video captures Donald Trump and Epstein chatting while watching a group of women at the party dance. It's not an image that matches Trump's declaration.
And went to a Walmart store where families were shopping with their loved ones. They're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. He shot and murdered 20 people and injured 26 others, including precious little children.
Come to me. What will it be? Ice cream?
Yes, ice cream! Please,
Chocolate?
Chocolate!
Inside. Coming up.
Then, in the early hours of Sunday morning, Dayton, Ohio, another twisted monster opened fire on a crowded downtown street. He murdered 9 people, including his own sister, and injured 27 others. The First Lady and I.
So what up, girl?
Join all Americans in praying and grieving for the victims, their families, and the survivors.
Now, a White House spokesperson said the president made the unplanned stop at McLean Bible Church in Vienna, Virginia, to, quote, visit with a pastor and pray for the victims and community of Virginia Beach in the wake of the mass shooting there on Friday. But Pastor David Platt said in a statement tonight that he got a call out of the blue that the president was on his way to the church and wanted them to pray for him. There was no mention of the Virginia Beach shooting at any point in the president's 15-minute visit.
We will stand by their side forever. We will never forget.
Does it concern you that many people saw that tweet as racist and that white nationalist groups are finding common cause with you on that point?
It doesn't concern me because many people agree with me. These barbaric slaughters are an assault upon our communities, an attack upon our nation, and a crime against all of humanity. We are outraged and sickened by this monstrous evil, the cruelty, the hatred, the malice, the bloodshed, and the terror.
As I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
Our hearts are shattered for every family whose parents, children, husbands, and wives were ripped from their arms and their lives.
Children!
America weeps for the fallen. They want to throw rocks. We're going to consider it. I told them, consider it a rifle. We are a loving nation, and our children are entitled to grow up in a just, peaceful, and loving society.
What's going on? All I mean is we have to have a little more discipline and more spear fishing.
Together, we lock arms to shoulder the grief. We ask God in heaven to ease the anguish of those who suffer.
You cruel, manipulative bastard! It's all just a game to you, isn't it?
And we vow to act with urgent resolve. I want to thank the many law enforcement personnel who responded to these atrocities.
In veli bazma tetostaur.
in vrapa tolvio vio non tiraderat. Tolvio pregelat.
With the extraordinary grace and courage of American heroes.
Unbelievable.
I have spoken with Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
You know there is a city ordinance against disturbing a man who inside with the razor call. It's a misdemeanor. You can be shot for it.
And Ohio Governor Mike DeWine.
Letting them know how much we deeply care about them.
As well as Mayor DeMargo of El Paso, Texas.
You've clashed with the president in the past on some issues. The president will address the nation this morning. What do you think he can say to help heal?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure. There are words out there right now, given what we've gone through and what Dayton has been going through. I wish I knew.
And Mayor Nan Whaley of Dayton, Ohio.
Honestly, I have to say that unfortunately, because we have so many of these incidences, there is a bevy of mayors that are able to give great advice and feedback. I think that's, quite frankly, a little sad, if you think about it, that they've learned so much because all of their communities have gone through these terrible mass shootings.
To express our profound sadness and unfailing support. Today, we also send the condolences of our nation to President Obrador of Mexico and all the people of Mexico for the loss of their citizens.
Latino gangs like MS-13.
In the El Paso shooting. Terrible, terrible thing. I have also been in close contact with Attorney General Barr and FBI Director Wray. Federal authorities are on the ground.
President officially sending the National Guard to the Mexican border, saying in a proclamation the situation at the border has now reached a point of crisis.
And I have directed them to provide any and all assistance required, whatever is needed.
The second holding facility, the vice president was faced with a much different scene. Nearly 400 men crammed behind cage fences with not enough room for them all to lie down. The room was hot and the smell was strong. The press was pulled out within 90 seconds of the visit.
The shooter in El Paso posted a manifesto online consumed by racist hate.
After all, the suspected New Zealand shooter praised Trump in his 87-page manifesto as a, quote, symbol of renewed white identity and common purpose.
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy.
The signing was the president's first public appearance since the New Zealand mosque shootings. He was asked if he thought white supremacy was a rising issue. We just heard a bit of the president's reaction. I want to show you some more of what he had to say.
I don't really. I think it's a small group of people that have very, very serious problems. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul.
New York Times and the Washington Post have new reports about the mind of Donald Trump, which is filled with things that are not true, that he spews both publicly and privately, leaving people in the White House to wonder how his mind actually works.
We have asked the FBI to identify all further resources they need to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism, whatever they need.
Full cooperation, Milo.
Thank you, sir.
Cotton?
Yes, sir. Cotton is a particularly liquid commodity.
How much?
We'll trade for it, sir.
With what?
Silk. 4,000 yards of silk.
How in the world did you get hold of so much silk?
Where the hell's my parachute?
We must recognize that the internet has provided a dangerous avenue to radicalize disturbed minds and perform demented acts.
I had no end. I give.
We must shine light on the dark recesses of the internet and stop mass murders before they start.
Double homicide, 1 male, 1 female. Killers male, white, 40s. Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
Give the man his hand.
The future can be seen.
The internet, likewise, is used for human trafficking, illegal drug distribution.
Powerful medication used for severe chronic pain in adults just got the green light for use in kids. I'm Gabe Garza with your latest health news. On Thursday, the FDA approved oxycodone, brand name Oxycontin, for use in children ages 11 to 16.
And so many other heinous crimes.
Publicly bash someone who's going through a hard time. Leave Brittany alone! Please!
The perils of the internet and social media cannot be ignored, and they will not be ignored.
It's time to have a look at your face. Take off your mask.
No. In the 2 decades since Columbine, our nation has watched with rising horror and dread as one mass shooting has followed another, over and over again.
Good morning. A pattern is emerging with President Trump and high-profile crimes. When committed by immigrants, legal or otherwise, there are rapid calls for new and restrictive policies. After mass shootings, the White House tendency is to say, wait, gather facts, and there have been no calls for restrictions on access to firearms. And the president's emphasis on mental health, it's undercut by his own record. No mention of the semi-automatic rifle at the heart of the carnage. For the president, mental illness was the culprit.
We are committed to working with state and local leaders to help secure our schools and tackle the difficult issue of mental health. This isn't a guns situation. This is a mental health problem.
I know that they're looking at some of the mental health issues. It's something the president has raised before.
Third, we must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals who may commit acts of violence and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement.
Along with repealing that one Obama-era regulation, the White House has also endorsed reducing long-term allocations to Medicaid. Medicaid is one of the largest providers of mental health services across the country. John?